Episode 32, Becky Internet Email. This is Chris Grabowski. I'm going to start a multi-part tutorial on using Becky Internet Email with screen reader software. I am going to be using Windows 7.5.4 for the screen reader under Windows 7 64-bit using Ivona Kimberly as the voice. Becky Internet Email is a program that has been around for a while. You can download a trial from www.rimarts.co.jp. That's rimarts.co.jp. Select the Becky link and all the information would be right there. I'm going to start by configuring a Gmail account and configuring Becky for use with screen reader software. There are a couple of changes that you'll want to make to Becky to get it to work optimal with screen reader software. If you do not make these changes, it will not work. Especially scrolling through messages, a line at a time, a word at a time, a character at a time, all that stuff. So let's begin. I'm at my desktop.
Becky, point 265, 1 of 94 items.
And I'm going to press enter.
Dialog choosing data folder. Specify full path name of a folder which Becky will use to store data. See Becky, Chris edit box.
Okay, that's where it wants to store the data files, so I'm just going to press enter.
Becky, internet mail starting. Mailbox name X edit box. Dialog settings for.
Okay, mailbox name, and I'm going to type in Gmail.
Cap G M A I L.
And then I'm going to tab.
Collection target checkbox checked.
Tab again.
Your name and edit box.
It wants my name, so I'm going to type in my name.
Cap G. Email address edit box.
Wants the email address, so I'm going to type
myspicapodcast@gmail.com.
Press tab.
Mail protocol T-top POP3 combo box 1 of 2.
And I'm going to use POP3 for this.
IMAP mail server and edit box.
And I'm going to type in POP period GMAIL
period
dot
COM SMTP server spop.gmail.com edit box.
And I'm going to delete this. Press home, shift end, delete. And I'm going to type SMTP
period GMAIL period COM
and tab.
User ID Mystic Place Podcast edit box.
And I'm going to go to the end at
period COM.
So now we have
Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com.
Okay, tab again.
Password P edit box.
I'm going to type in my password and press tab.
Server settings POP3S checkbox unchecked.
It says POP3S checkbox not checked. I'm going to turn that on. That means it will use SSL.
Space checked POP3S checkbox. Yes Y button.
There's a dialog box that came up. It basically asking me if I want to change the port. So I'm going to hit Y for yes.
Server settings POP3S checkbox checked.
And then I'm going to tab.
Server settings OP25B checkbox unchecked.
I'm going to tab again.
Server settings SMTPS checkbox unchecked.
And that's secure SMTP. And these are required for Gmail, so I'm going to check this box.
Space. Checked SMTPS checkbox. No and button. Dialog message from Becky. Do you want to change the port number to 465? If you don't, startls command will be used. Startls is commonly used with SMTP servers. Yes Y button default no and button.
And we do want to change the port to 465, so I will answer yes.
Yes Y button. Dialog settings for server settings SMTPS checkbox checked.
Tab again.
Server settings top standard radio button checked 1 of 4.
Tab again.
Server settings leave messages on server L checkbox unchecked.
Leave messages on server. I'm going to leave that unchecked so you could feel free to pull them down. That way they're not left on the Gmail server.
Delete after D up down edit box. Account tab control 1 of 5.
Now, just because I want to make sure, I'm going to go to the right to get to miscellaneous.
Connection 2 of. Compose 3 of. Receive 4 of 5.
And I am pressing the right arrow key.
Miscellaneous 5 of 5.
And then I'm going to tab.
Profile name R top bottom default 1 of 1 combo edit box.
Tab again.
New W button. Global profiles G dialog button. OK button. Cancel button. Help button. Mailbox name X Gmail edit box. Collection target checkbox checked. SMTPP 465 edit box.
Okay, so the port is 465, which is correct.
POP33 995 edit box.
POP3 port is 995.
IMAP 44143 edit box.
That would be the IMAP port if you're using IMAP. If you change the SSL box to use IMAP over a secure connection, this port would change to 993.
Incoming C top default combo box. Outgoing I top default. SSLTLS settings skip verifying certificate. S checkbox unchecked. SSLTLS settings use client certificate. F checkbox checked. Dot dialog button. SMTP off checkbox unchecked.
SMTP authentication, we're going to check this.
Space checked SMTP off checkbox. CRAM MD5 checkbox checked. Login checkbox checked. Plain checkbox unchecked. User ID U edit box.
And then I'm going to type in the username again.
F E A Password O
And I'm going to type in my password, and then I'm going to press enter because everything should be done.
Becky. No selected item list view.
So now we're in Becky with an account created. I'm going to read my title bar.
Gmail Becky maximized.
Now if I use the command Control M to check for new messages, we'll see if I get any.
M. No selected item. OK button. Dialog message from Becky. No new mail. Default OK button.
Perfect. So I'm going to press enter.
Gmail Becky. No selected.
Now let's make those setting changes that I talked about in the beginning. So I'm going to do Alt-T for the Tools menu.
T. Mailbox setup. M dialog.
That's where you would go to change the preferences of your mailbox, basically what we had just done. I'm going to go down.
General setup. G dialog.
Go to General Setup. Press enter.
Menu closed. On start of process collection and delivery. C checkbox unchecked. Property sheet general set.
And then I'm going to Shift Tab.
General tab control 1 of 12.
Okay, and I'm going to go to the right.
Tree list 2 of 12.
Again.
Message view 3 of 12.
I'm going to go to Message View, and I'm going to tab until I get to Operate 4-Way button by the cursor, and I'm going to make sure that that is unchecked. Okay, so tab.
Action for URL email bottom double click radio. Action for URL email top open with. Action for URL email use DDED checkbox up. Action for URL email top compose email radio button checked. Scroll mode top smooth radio button checked 1 of 2. Scroll mode by half page H checkbox unchecked. Target G top text combo box 1 of 18. Color C button. Mark read immediately when opened. Y checkbox unchecked. Wrap long lines to fit the window. Checkbox checked. Operate 4-way button by the cursor key. 4 checkbox checked.
Okay, so I'm going to uncheck that.
Space. Unchecked operate 4-way button by the cursor key. 4 checkbox.
And then I'm going to press Control Tab one time.
Max columns M256 edit box.
Okay, and I should be in the Editor tab control. So now I'm going to tab.
Auto formatting column C7 to edit box. Tab size T8 edit box. Editing options auto indent I checkbox unchecked. Editing options soft tabs uses SBCS instead of a hard tab S checkbox Editing options permit caret after end of line P checkbox unchecked. Editing options free caret F checkbox unchecked. Spelling checker American English a checkbox checked. Spelling checker British English B checkbox checked. Spelling checker check before sending message K checkbox unchecked. Use inline HTML editor need D5.0 or higher H checkbox checked. Use autocomplete for 2, CC, and BCC fields. L checkbox checked. Auto backup interval V30 edit box. Display changed mark in checkbox unchecked. Display tab and CRLFR checkbox checked. Display underline U checkbox unchecked. Display line pointer thumbs up Y checkbox.
Display line pointer Y. And I have the Smile script installed, so that's why it actually said thumbs up. So I'm going to hit the space bar to make sure that that's unchecked.
Space. Unchecked line pointer thumbs up Y checkbox.
Then I'm going to press enter.
Gmail Becky. No selected item list view.
Okay, those are the required settings to get Becky to work with screen readers. Now let's do a new message. So I'm going to press Control N for new.
N. Composed from Chris G. Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com to O edit box.
And I'm going to send an email to myself.
M. Y. S. E. T. A. M. M.
So now I'm going to press Tab.
Subject as edit box.
And I'm in the subject field. Now, having said that, there is a BCC and a CC field. If I want those to be displayed, I would press, at this point, Control down arrow. Once for the CC and a second time for the BCC. So I'm going to shift tab back to the to field.
To Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com edit box.
Then I'm going to press control down arrow once. The CC field is displayed. One more time, the BCC field will be displayed. Now I'm going to tab.
CCC edit box.
There's the CC.
BCCB edit box.
There's the BCC.
Subject as edit box.
And there's the subject field. Now, you only have to do that once, as Becky will remember that you have those displayed. If you wanted to remove them, you'd press control up arrow once for the BCC and again for the CC. So I'm going to write the email.
Cap E-S space T.
And I'm going to tab again.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 Chris G Mystic.
Basically, we are in the message area, so I can type in some text.
E-M space what space period.
I'm going to read my current line.
The podcast.
Okay, perfect. Now press enter, just because I like to leave a blank line. And I am going to go to the file menu and send this message. So we'll go to the file menu.
File F pull down.
Go down.
Save to draft D Control T. Save to outbox S Control G. Send now and Control Shift G.
Okay, send now is Control Shift G. So if I wanted to send it now, I could have done Control Shift G, or I can press enter here. I'm going to press enter.
Gmail Becky. Menu closed. No selected item list view.
Okay, now it is sent. Now if I want to check my email, I do Control M. If I was to have multiple accounts set up, I would do Control Shift M, and that would pull from all accounts. But since I only have one, Control M is fine.
M. No selected item.
You're going to regret this.
And that's my email notification. And press up and down arrow.
Top bottom testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/16/2012 4:54:08 a.m. Size 851 watt of 1.
So there's only one email. I'm going to press enter on it. Now the weird thing about Becky, and it's not really a weird thing, but you have a couple of fields. If I shift tab once,
Inbox 1 of 3 tree view depth 2.
I'm going to be in my tree of mailboxes and accounts. If I did it again,
Custom control 1 body 0 headers.
if I had multiple accounts, a combo box would show up. But since I don't, I'm going to tab back into the tree view.
Inbox 1 of 3 tree view depth 2.
And I'm going to tab again.
Top bottom testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/6.
If I tab, I will be in the message area, or I can press enter and I will be in the same message area. So let's tab.
Subject hello. I am writing this email from Becky while demonstrating for the podcast. Chris G Mystic.
Okay, now I'm going to shift tab.
Top bottom testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/16/20.
If I press enter here,
Subject hello. I am writing this email from Becky while demonstrating for the podcast.
okay, it did the same thing. In any other email programs, you'd press escape to get out of that window, but you don't with Becky. You press shift tab.
Top bottom testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/16/2012.
That takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's really not too bad once you get used to it. To reply to an email, I will do Control R, which is standard.
R. Reply from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. 1 2. Oh. Space. Period.
And then at this I'm going to do Control Shift G to send my reply.
Cap G. Gmail Becky. Top bottom.
If I do Control M again,
M. Top bottom testing Becky.
You're gonna
for the
regret
podcast
this.
From Chris G Mystic Place.
so now I have two messages. I have my original and my reply.
Top read testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/16/2012 4:56:59 a.m. Size 1153 1 of 2.
And if I go down,
Bottom testing Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6/16/2012 4:54:08 a.m. Size 850.
that's the original one, so I'm going to hit delete.
Top bottom retesting Becky for the podcast from Chris G Mystic Place Podcast gmail.com. Sent date 6.
Now I'm going to press enter and I'll read my response.
Subject hello, this is reply on the podcast on SAT 6.
Now, if I want to delete this message, I just press delete. And when I do that, I'm focused back into the list of messages, which there should be none.
No selected item list view.
Let's take a quick trip through the menu system. So I'm going to press the Alt key,
File F pull down.
and I'm going to go to the right.
Edit E pull down. View V pull down. Mail in pull down. Tools D pull down. Help page pull down. System pull down. File F pull down.
Now we're back to File, so I'm going to go down.
Folder F pull down. Mailbox M pull down. System S pull down. Default mailbox D. Import I dialog. Export E dialog. Save as a Control S dialog. Edit template T dialog. Empty trash Y dialog. Import backup logs B dialog. Property R Control P dialog disable.
That's actually a nice feature, the property. If you do Control P, then on a message, it brings you into a nice dialog where you can tab through and get a lot of information on the message.
Print V Control K B dialog. Print preview V Control KR. End dialog. Sync with
Okay.
portable media.
So I'm going to press Escape, and we'll just take a quick tour through the Mail menu.
Edit E. View V pull. Mail and pull down.
Down arrow.
Send and receive V Control M.
That's Send and Receive.
Send from outbox S. Receive new mail M. Collection and delivery T Control Shift M.
That's collection and delivery. That means if you had multiple accounts, it would collect from all accounts and send from all accounts if you have email in the outboxes of each account waiting.
Mailbox is for collection B dialog.
This is where you can set up the different mailboxes. Say you have 4 mailboxes, 3 are personal, 1 is work. Say you don't want the work one checked when you do a collection, you could do that.
Remote mailbox so. Receive all A. Delete downloaded messages from server L. Abort session. End. Compose C Control N.
There's your compose, Control N.
Compose to people down.
There's your compose to.
Reply R Control R disable.
Reply, there's nothing to reply to.
Reply to Y pull down.
Now this is a handy feature, reply to. There's a reply to all, and then there's a reply to select messages. If you're on a mailing list, for example, you could do a reply to selected addresses and pick the person who actually sent the message, so you're not replying directly to the list if the list is set up that way. And I'm going to go down.
Forward F Control W disable. Redirect E disable. Forward as attachment W disable. Delete mail D del disable. Direct edit mode I. Extract attached messages X. Mark as read K Control. Mark as unread U Control Shift B disable. Send and receive V Control M.
Okay, so we're back to send and receive.
Menu.
As you can see, Becky Internet Email is very powerful, and it is very screen reader friendly. Let me know what kind of additional features you would like me to discuss with Becky Internet Email. It has quite a bit. We could go through the address book, we can go through the filtering manager, we can go through the mailing lists manager, which is a pretty powerful function. Let me know what you think. My contact information follows. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Hi there. My name is Joey.
And my name is Kimberly.
Thanks for listening to the Mystic Place blog and podcast. We hope you have enjoyed this episode.
Joey.
Yes, Kimberly.
It is my turn to talk.
Okay.
Thanks, Joey.
No problem.
If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to send an email to mysticplacepodcast@gmail.com or leave a voice message at 864. Mystic 4, that is 86469784424, or follow him on Twitter at cgrabo73.
You can visit the blog at www.mysticplace.info.
Don't forget to check out the Mystic Place community at www.mysticplacecommunity.info.
Have a nice day.
Take care.